Okay, good evening. Welcome. I'm Aaliya. We have an hour together or so of yoga. So find your way into a comfortable seat, whether you're sitting cross-legged or sitting on your knees, soles of the feet touching, just something that you can maintain here. Take a moment to detach from all that you've done today, all that you still need to complete, and give yourself permission to arrive here completely. If it feels natural to do so, close your eyes. And start to tune into the breath as it travels in and out through your nose. Allow your breath to become audible. With each inhale, finding the sound resembling so. And with each exhale, sounds like hum. So hum, this natural mantra that's weaved into our breath. So hum meaning I am that. I am interconnected with all beings. I am of the divine. The divine dwells within me, and there is no separation of the two. So as much as the mind will naturally want to take you elsewhere through this practice, allow that mantra that is weaved into your breath to keep you anchored in present moment. We'll meet in a tabletop position, palms under shoulders, knees slightly behind your hips, and spread your fingertips nice and wide. With your inhaling breath, lift your chest, lift your tailbone, look up to the ceiling. Exhale and round your spine, tucking chin to chest. Inhaling breath, find length through your spine, let the belly soften. As you exhale, push the floor away from you, puffing up your mid-back. And start to create a rhythm here, bringing union to your breath and your movement. Till this union becomes so natural, so autonomic, that once again, you can soften your gaze or close your eyes. Listen inward to what your body needs today to awaken your spine. That could mean more circular movements through the hips, the ribs. That could mean more side to side movements, chin from shoulder to shoulder. Maybe today you need a few breaths in child's pose. Doing as you need. Take 2 more breaths. With your toes tucked under, root down through your palms and lift your hips up and back. Find downward facing dog. Allow the heels to pedal. Feel your hips sway. Nod your head, yes and no, till your physical body can surrender to a shape of stillness. And as you encourage a deeper bend into your knees, think of lifting your hip creases up and back toward the sky. Once again, finding the breath in and out through your nose. So hum. Look to the top of your mat. Like a walking meditation, find your way to the top. Either a few fingertips to the floor or holding opposite elbow, let the entire upper body drape. Should a sway from side to side, feel intuitive, go there. And as the entire upper portion of your body surrenders to gravity's call, even more, feel your shoulders, feel your head let go. Place your hands to your shins, take a halfway lift, shoulders back, open chest. Exhale and bow. Do that once again, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold, Uttanasana. Press down through your feet, rise all the way to standing. Reach your arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands together at the center of your heart. Release your arms by your sides, resisting the urge to fidget and standing as you are. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead, look up. Bend your knees, humbly fold forward, touch the earth. Take a halfway lift, shine your heart forward. Bow and exhale. Land your palms to the ground and step back to a high plank, the top of a push-up. Now that L shape in your hand, the thumb, the pointer finger, really push the ground away from you. Puff up that space between your shoulders. Keep the back body strong. Lower your knees to the ground. Hips stay lifted. Lower chest and chin. Untuck your toes. Stretch your chest forward, baby cobra. Exhale back to the ground. Do that again, finding length rather than height. Exhale back to your mat. Last one here. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale back to the earth. Tuck your toes under. Send your seat towards your heels. And take a few breaths here in this modified child's pose. As we start to wake up those soft connective tissues of the feet. Downward facing dog with the exhaling breath. Steady inhales through the nose. Equally steady exhales through the nose. Look forward, step your right foot forward, step your left foot forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale and surrender. Ground down through your feet, rise to stand, arms overhead, maybe a little back bend at the top. As you exhale, join your hands to heart. Release your arms by your sides, pause and feel. Pause and soften. See that your feet are parallel like the number 11 and hip width distance. Reach your arms overhead and find your left wrist with your right hand. Bend your elbows, bend your knees, and give that left wrist a little tug with the right hand as you lengthen upright. Shift your hips to the left, arc your upper body to the right. Peeling your chin away from your chest. Go just a little deeper to the right. Finish your exhale here. Rise with the inhaling breath. Soften your elbows, soften your knees, switch the grip. Left hand to right wrist. And creating so much length through the right side body. Arc over towards the left. Soften your eyes, maybe closing them entirely. So that sourced from the wholeness of your breath, you can go a little deeper to the left. Rise with the inhale. Release the bind and bring your hands to your lower back, fingertips facing down. Let your elbows hug toward one another. Use your palms to guide your hips forward. Your inhale to lift your heart to the sky. Supported back bend. First of our heart opening shapes. As you breathe into the space under your collarbone, think of elevating your heart. Stay here or walk your hands down towards your inner thighs. Stay with the breath. Root down through your heels and come back to a neutral spine. Keeping your hands behind you, interlace your fingers at your lower back. Take an inhale to open the chest. Exhale and fold over your legs. Knuckles to the sky, let your head hang. Allowing all the chatter that's been floating through your mind to surrender to the earth below you. Give yourself permission to fully arrive in your moving meditation. Release your fingertips to the mat and allow your head to hang. Land your palms flat. Step back to a high plank, the top of a push-up. You can always transition through knees, lower all the way to your stomach, toes untuck. Walk your hands wide onto the floor beside you. Come onto your fingertips, elbows to the ceiling. Inhale and slide your heart forward and up. Exhale, lower back to the ground. Do that again, finding length and then height. Exhale back to your mat. Last one here, inhale, lift up. Exhale back to the floor. Place your hands beside your upper ribs. Tuck your toes under, push back, high plank. Downward facing dog with the exhaling breath. Please reach your right leg straight up to the sky. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Heel is in, toes are out. Lower your left knee to the ground. Walk your hands slightly forward of your shoulders and start to find a rock forward and back through your hips. Maybe more circular movements through the hips. As you once again close your eyes, listen inward to the point that is a little bit sticky or resistant, and pause for a moment in that shape. Take your left hand wide onto the floor beside you. Have your foot just how you started, heel in, toes out. Take your right palm to the inner right thigh and twist. As you push your leg into your hand, use that to lean your ears back, your shoulders back. Stay here or roll onto the outer edge of the right foot. From the space under your left armpit, turn a little deeper to the right. Unravel, place your right foot to the center of your mat, reach your arms overhead, low lunge. Sink down through the pelvis, the hips. Reach your hands behind you, interlace your hands at your lower back. With a bend in your elbows, shrug your shoulders together. Further to here, slowly start to drag your knuckles down towards your left inner thigh. Chest starts to lift, ribs start to lift. If it feels safe in your neck, gaze up to the ceiling. I am that, so hum. Drink your breath in. Release the bind, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, hands to either side of the right foot. Left toes tuck under, lift your left knee, and step your right foot back to meet your left, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Float your left leg up and back. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Lower your right knee to the ground. Once again, walk your hands slightly forward and start to rock forward and back, flossing the hips. Maybe you start to find more circular movements. Soften the gaze or close your eyes and listen to where you need to pause. Pause to sit with the sensation, knowing that everything in life, the sensation is temporary. Breathe through it. Walk your right hand wide onto the floor beside you. Take the left palm to the inner left thigh and twist. From the space all around the right side of your belly, turn deeper to the left. Option to roll onto the outer edge of your left foot. Last cycle of breath here. Walk your left foot to the center of your mat. Reach your arms overhead. Low lunge. Scoop your left hip back and down. Sink a little deeper into your pelvis. Reach the arms behind you. Interlace your fingers at your lower back. Once again, soft bend in the elbows. Shrug your shoulder blades together. Slowly walk your knuckles down towards your right inner thigh. Feel the lifting of the entire space around your chest, your heart, maybe even gazing up towards the ceiling. Release the bind, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to either side of your left foot. Tuck your right toes under, hover your right knee, and step your right foot forward to meet left, top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale and bow. Loop your peace fingers, your pointer, your middle finger around your big toes. Let the knees bend. Feel your elbows come out nice and wide. And with the elbows wide, work to soften your shoulders away from your ears. Using the strength of your upper inner thighs, slowly work your legs to straight. Release the bind, hands to your hips, elbows to the ceiling, come up nice and slow. I'm going to turn to face you. So facing the short edge of your mat, the top of your mat, shift your weight into your left leg. Lift your right knee and bring your right hand to your kneecap. Left arm sweeps to the sky, thumb and index finger connect. With your exhale, send your right knee to the right, left arm to the left in line with your shoulder. Go ahead and flex your right toes so they point up to the sky. Further to here, reach for your right big toe and take bind. Root down through your standing heel and lift your spine more upright. Carefully soften your bind. Point your right knee forward. Look forward. Hold the back of your right thigh with both hands and kick your heel out. Spread your toes. From the upper inner thigh, lift a little higher. Good. Right foot lands beside left. Arms by your sides. Come back to the mantra of your breath. Soham. Ground down through your right foot this time. Lift the left knee, left hand to kneecap. Right arm reaches to the sky. Thumb and pointer finger connect. Left knee to the left, right arm to the right. Now here is a great place to be. Otherwise, reach for your big toe. Inner arch, outer edge of the right foot are equally active. Elevate your heart. Releasing any binds. Left knee points forward. Hands to the back of your left thigh. Kick your heel out, spread your toes. From the left big toe, lift a little higher. Left foot steps beside right, arms by your sides. Pause and feel. Pause and open to a deeper breath. Turn to face the long edge of your mat. Take a nice wide stance with your feet. Turn your right toes to face the short edge of your mat. And with your back heel, your left heel, smudge slightly out, toes point in. This will give you a little more space in the hips. Bring your arms nice and wide. If your shoulders need a little break, you can always turn the palms to face up. Sink a little deeper into that front knee. The gaze is over your right hand, your front hand. Option to close your eyes. Whether it's in the breath itself, your connection to this moment, or the shape in your body, go a little deeper. Straighten your right leg. Take your back hand, your left hand to your left thigh, and reach your right arm up and back, like you are lengthening your rib cage away from your right hip. Option to bend the right elbow. Rest the weight of your head into your hand. Option to take the left hand around the outer right hip and lean. Breathing into the back, into the bottom of your right lung. Stay for your inhale. Warrior two as you exhale. Reach forward with your right hand. Land your right elbow onto your thigh. Left arm straight up to the sky. Thumb and shoulder in one line. Or reach your left arm overhead. Now spiral those lower right ribs more to the sky. You stay here, or you float your right elbow off your thigh. Where are you gripping? Where can you soften a little more? Rise with your inhale. Warrior two, soft gaze over right hand or eyes closed. Hands to hips. Straighten your right leg, pivot your toes, face the long edge of your mat. Left toes turn to face the front. Drag your right heel out, sink into your left knee. Arms nice and wide. Virabhadrasana B, warrior two. Notice where the mind wants to take you. Notice the tools that you've cultivated to stay rooted in this moment. Sink a little more. Straighten your left leg. Take your right palm to the back of your right thigh. Reach away with the left hand. Option to bend your elbow. Let your head lean back through your palm. Creating more space from hip to armpit. Full breath in. Full breath out. Stay for your inhale. Warrior two as you exhale. Reach forward with the left hand, left elbow to thigh, either thumb and shoulder in one line, or reach your right fingertips to the front of the room. Now for a moment here, push your left elbow into your thigh and start to lift your head away from your shoulder. As you press the outer edge of your right foot into the floor, really reach your right fingertips in the opposite direction of your hip. Option to lift your left elbow off thigh. Rise with your inhale. Last one, warrior two, sink into it. Hands to hips. Turn your left toes to face the long edge of your mat. Now, if you know you have relatively tight hamstrings, let the toes point slightly inward. Squeeze your elbows together, soften your knees, and hinge forward from your hips. Wide-legged forward fold. I'd like for you to walk your hands nice and far in front of you. Scooping your right arm under your left, reach for the outer edge of the left leg. Continue to turn your chest so you're looking under your left armpit. Lengthening your spine and twisting a little deeper. Now you can keep the left fingertips to the ground or de-weight your left hand and bring your left hand to your lower back. Unravel, hands to the ground, nice and far in front of you. And we're switching sides. So left arm under right, reach for the outer blade of the right leg and twist. Rather than rounding, can you keep length through your spine and twist a little deeper? Stay here or bring your right hand to your lower back. Unravel, bring your hands back under your shoulders. Halfway lift, inhale, bow, and exhale. Hands to your hips, elbows to the ceiling. Come up nice and slow. Step or hop your right foot to meet your left and turn to face the very top of your mat. See that your feet are parallel and hip width distance. Reach your arms overhead and sit into your chair. The mind will want to give up before the body. Tune into that mantra and sink a little deeper. Use your next inhaling breath to lift your heart higher. Full breath in. Exhale and fold over your legs. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale and bow. Land your hands to the mat. Step back to your high plank and lower all the way to your stomach once again. Bring your arms beside you. Rest your left cheek on the floor. Look to the right and take rest. Allowing your body to get heavy. Releasing completely to the earth below you. In turn, feel the earth hold you, receive you. Place your hands beside your upper ribs or right under your shoulders. Zip your legs together. Push into the tops of your feet till your knees, your thighs spark off the ground, but keep your feet glued. With your inhale, slide your chest forward and up. Once again, the neck is an extension of the spine, so look down. Option to hover your hands off the floor. Using just the musculature of your back to strengthen your spine. Release, arms by your sides, right ear to the mat, look to the left and rest. Keep your legs glued together, arms beside your body, fingertips in line with your thighs, palms facing up. Bring your chin to center. Inhale, slide your chest forward and up. Lift your arms to the height of your shoulders. Press down through your belly, lift your toes, your shins, your thighs. You can stay here or interlace your hands behind you. Knuckles back in space, ears forward. Use the breath that fills your lower ribs to lift your heart higher. Release and rest. Bend your knees, lift your heels to the sky, and windshield wiper your legs side to side. Keep your feet lifted. Find the outer edges of your feet or your outer ankles. Now, if this shape doesn't serve you, take a second set of the previous shape. Just like you've done before, bend your elbows, shrug your shoulders together, lift your heart, and press through your feet for bow pose, Dhanurasana. This is a huge detoxifying shape here. So what are you making space for? Clear it out. Release and press back to child's pose. From child's pose, walk your hands to your knees so that you're upright. Shift your weight onto either hip and extend your legs out in front of you. Bend your right knee. Take your right foot to the outer left thigh. If both your hips stay level here, option to bend the left knee and bring your heel to your outer right hip. Right hand to your lower back, or rather to the floor behind you. Come onto your fingertips. Left arm to the sky and twist to the right. As you press your fingertips into the ground behind you, think of elevating your spine so that the twist happens from the mid-belly, from the mid-spine. Stay for your inhale. Exhale and unravel, hands to either side of the left thigh. Counter twist. Come back through center, uncross your legs. This time right leg straight, left foot to the outer right thigh. Bend your right knee and bring your foot to your outer left hip if you did on the opposite side. Left hand behind you, right arm to the sky and twist. Use this twist as more than just wringing out the physical body, but an opportunity to wring out, just like a towel, all that no longer serves you energetically in your mental space, all that separates you from being connected to present moment. Twist a little deeper. Take a big breath in. Exhale and counter twist, both hands to the outer right thigh. Come back through center. Extend both legs out in front of you. Point your toes up to your nose. Take a moment just to move the flesh of your seat so you're right on your seated bones. Reach your arms overhead and fold forward any amount to find shins, ankles, toes, something to hold to. Take a conscious inhale here and a very cleansing exhale here. Once again, finding that sound of Soham. Bend your knees, place your feet flat to the ground, and lower on to your back. Gonna come into a hip opening here. However, if this is too intense, please take the figure 4 shape of thread the needle. Looks like so, if you're not sure. Otherwise, cross your right thigh directly over your left. Lift both your feet off the floor and send them in opposite directions so that you can find your right ankle with your left hand, your left ankle with your right hand. Now there's a few actions going on here. One is you're pulling your feet in opposite directions. The second is the knees are pressing towards your chest. And finally, your tailbone imprinting into the earth. Come back to the sweetness of your breath. Guide it all the way down to the crease of your right hip. Release the bind of your ankles. Uncross your thighs. Place your feet to the ground and sway your knees side to side. As you're ready, either crossing left shin over right thigh for thread the needle, that figure four shape, or crossing your left thigh directly over right. Hover both your feet off the ground, send them in opposing directions. Finding right ankle, left hand, left ankle, right hand. Whether you're in this shape known as souped up Gomukhasana, or you're in your thread the needle shape, allow the back of your skull to get heavy. Feel your shoulders soften into the earth. Feel as you breathe into your hips, your pelvis, all the tension you hold there can let go. Release the bind of your ankles, land your feet to the ground, sway your knees side to side. And we'll meet with soles of the feet touching, knees out wide. Where your hands intuitively land, just let them rest there. Come back to just as when you arrived in your moving meditation, the audible sound of your breath. The sound of that mantra, Soham, as it weaves into each cell of your being. This message of union. This reminder that you are of the divine. This reminder that you are infinite potential, infinite expansion. Gather your legs together. Feet are flat. Bring your right knee nice and close to your armpit, your outer ribs. Straighten your left leg along the mat. Feel as the right side of the belly inflates. And as the side puffs up, use your right thigh to push out any stagnance, any stickiness sitting at the bottom of your lung. Reach your right arm out wide to the side. Use the help of your left hand to bring your right knee across till you roll onto your outer left hip. You can look over your right shoulder. You can close your eyes. Rolling onto your back. Hug your right knee in towards the center of your chest and round your forehead to or towards your kneecap. Lower down, head, shoulders, right leg. Left knee into your armpit, your outer ribs. In and out through the nose. Take a conscious inhale. A very honest exhale. Extend your left arm out wide beside you. Use the help of your right hand this time to bring your knee across. Looking over left shoulder or eyes closed. Rolling onto your back. Guide your left knee into the center of your chest and bring your forehead towards your kneecap. Lower down head, shoulders. Lift both your feet off the ground. Hold your knees with your hands and start to make circles. Either the same direction, different directions. Whichever direction you've gone in, go the opposite way. As you're ready, hug your knees into your chest. Round your forehead towards your kneecaps. Symbolic of sealing in this practice is moving meditation. And expand to your resting place of Shavasana. Know that you've taken the time to do the work. So enjoy this time of rest. Anytime those chattery, naggy thoughts come back, let the mantra Soham wash over you so that you can fall deeper and deeper into the state of rest, into the place of integration. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring some very gentle movements into your fingertips, into your toes. Reach your arms overhead, point your toes forward, take a long stretch in both directions. Bending your knees, place your feet to the mat. Roll to your right side. And pause here for a moment in fetal position. Using the help of your hands, lift yourself to a seat. And take your left hand over your heart. Take your right hand over your left. As aware as you may be of the sounds around you,
in your space, or even farther beyond the sound of my voice. Trickle this heightened awareness back into the sounds within you. The pulsing of your heartbeat, the audible sound of your breath, soul hum, weaving this mantra. And continue to carry this heightened awareness of self, your vast internal world, with you off of the mat. Thank you for taking time out of your day to practice, to journey inward. Have a lovely rest of your day. Namaste.